one of the teams that could end up being in those semifinals is Altus, and their head coach joins us now. His name is Jeremy Reed, and the Bulldogs, one of the top teams, in my opinion, in Class 5A. Coach, thanks for taking some time this morning to talk a little Altus football with us.
You bet. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, let's start with Taven Bordeaux because he's the guy who, headlines will be around this fall. Went to IMG Academy, and for those in Oklahoma who are not familiar with what IMG is, it's one of the top schools to get you ready for the college game. And I remember talking with Taven after he transferred back, and he said it's literally like being in college already. He split time at running back with 3 other guys, and now he's back for Altus this year. What do you expect from Taven in this Altus offense?
Oh, Taven's Taven. First of all, he's a great kid. He's a 4.0 student, extremely smart, obviously off the field, great intelligence on the field. Obviously when you get a player like him back, it enhances things tremendously. He's a great running back, and he'll also play a good role for us defensively. The other night in the scrimmage, we limited his carries, but you can definitely tell he will add to our offense a whole bunch.
Now, I saw you guys at the Mustang team camp before Taven was there, and it was interesting to watch that offense that you run. How much difficulty could opposing defenses face when they're talking about facing the option offense you run?
Well, it's getting a little more popular in 5A. I think now there's 3 teams that run it, and just so happen they're all in our district. But it's unique, once you get into the playoffs because there's not many that do it. We love our personnel. We have, of course, Taven and Deontay Harris at fullback. Our quarterback, Jaden Benway, is just a true option quarterback and does some really, really great things. And then we've got some talented slots that are really, really fast and pose a big-time threat on the edge. And this year we've got a couple threats on the outside to go deep. So, of our skill positions, we feel really good in this flex bone offense. And then we return 3 starting offensive linemen and have filled in with 2 others that we think will be better up front than we were a year ago. So we're pretty excited to see what's going to happen offensively this year.
Hey, Coach, thanks for hopping on with us this morning and talking some Altus football. Kind of looking through the past, Altus cracking that playoff rotation has been tough, for the last 5-6 years. What did it mean to your guys to be able to play Guthrie in the first round, and what kind of experiences did you take from that?
It was great to be back in the playoffs. One of the reasons I had even looked at this job was because of the history. I wanted to look, when I left Dixon, I wanted to go somewhere that had some tradition, and there's a lot of tradition in Altus. When I got here, there was 19 district titles. There's state championship and several semi and quarterfinal appearances. So there's a lot of tradition to build off of, and got here at a good time with some good classes, of course, right now coming through. So it was great to get back to the playoffs. We were not satisfied just to get there. We're in a game with Guthrie. 10 minutes to go in the second, we're up 10-0. Driving to go 17-0, and we fumble, and from there things went a little bit south for us. So we enjoyed the experience, but we were not satisfied with just getting there by any means.
Talking with Altus head coach Jeremy Reed here. It's our Class 5A preview on the OKPreps Round Up, powered by Excel Therapy. Coach, we talked a lot about the offense. Let's flip gears and talk a little defense now. What do you have coming back, and what are the expectations in Altus defensively?
Well, our offense gets a lot of headlines for the last 2 years just because I think of its unique nature, but there's no doubt last year we won 8 ball games because of our defense. Our defense came in and was so much improved from what they'd done the year before. Our kids bought into a mentality of how to play defense and being relentless. And we returned 7 kids back on the defensive side of the ball. And hopefully, if Thursday at our scrimmage was any indication, we're going to be even better defensively. We love the guys we got coming back and a few that we filled in with, and we think we got a chance to be really good, mainly because of our team speed. We have a lot of team speed on defense.
You mentioned the run to the playoffs last year, and that district is one of the toughest in the state, and we had Lawton MacArthur head coach Brett Manning as well as Del City's head coach on earlier, and we discussed it with them, how difficult 5A1 is going to be. You guys were competitive week after week in that district. What do you take away from last year, knowing that you can compete with these guys on a weekly basis?
Well, I'm sure our goal's the same as the ones you mentioned, plus Ardmore and Duncan and everybody in there. Our goal is to go win the district championship outright. Last year we got in that three-way tie with MacArthur and Ardmore and ended up having to go third on points. And there's no secret. Our goal is to be the district champion outright, but boy, it's going to be a gauntlet. You've got the returning state champion in MacArthur who lost a lot of starters, but we all know they just reload, and they will definitely be a heavy contender. You have Ardmore who, by my charts from last year, returned 8 kids on each side, offensively and defensively. Are very, very talented. You have Dale City who return 8 defensive starters by my indication on film last year against us on defense, and returned several offensively. Of course, everybody knows about their quarterback and got several good linemen. Duncan will be improved. They had a move-in quarterback and have a really good running back. The list goes on and on. I think our district from top to bottom, everybody in there is going to be better than they were a year ago. I think the question is how MacArthur is, but definitely not thinking they're going to be a slouch or in the bottom tier by any means. They're going to be very good. So, I think there's not even a question. Class C to 6A, I think 5A1 probably the toughest in all the state.
That's what I think. Coach, we'll get you out of here on this. It's one of my favorite questions to ask coaches, always interested in finding out the answer. Short question. Sometimes it's a long response, though. What's it going to take for Altus to win the gold ball in 2015?
It's easy as far as the answer. There's 3 areas that we've already talked about daily. As far as on-field things, number 1 is turnover margin. We lost 2 ball games last year, in my opinion, of the 3 because we didn't hold on to the ball. Lost to MacArthur here, fumbled 5 times inside the 15, and lost by 2 points. And then, I've talked about the Guthrie game. The second thing is we've got to play flawless special teams. We've got to have really good special teams and make sure that we're taking care of business there. And then the third thing on the field is we have got to just make sure that we are doing what we do daily in our details. We talk about the word detail so much in how we operate offensively and defensively, and we feel like our day-to-day preparation and practice is why we are able to execute on offense and do a few things that we do defensively just like everybody else. But if we can take care of those 3 things and stay healthy, of course, we've got a chance, we feel like, to make a run at it.
Well, Coach, looking forward to seeing how Altus navigates through that tough district and seeing if you guys can possibly make a run at a 5A gold ball. Thanks for taking some time and talking about Altus with us here on our 5A preview. I'm sure we'll catch up throughout the 2015 season.
Hey, thanks for having us on.
That's Altus head coach Jeremy Reed, and that's our 3rd guest from 5A1 alone. Look, I'm telling you, it's loaded. That's why we're talking to the coaches. The district is absolutely loaded over there in Class 5A.